I was framed for 18 lakh rupees fraud, but the real mastermind shocked me. 2:13 a.m. That's the time my office system showed I stole 18 lakh rupees. The only problem, I was asleep. I never thought a simple office job in Mumbai would turn into something that would almost destroy my life. I'm 26, working as a junior accountant in a mid-sized logistics company. Nothing fancy, just spreadsheets, tea breaks, and deadlines that never end. I joined the company about a year ago, and everything was normal, until our new finance manager arrived. Her name was Ria, confident, sharp, and way too observant for comfort. From day one, she noticed things others ignored. Missing invoices, slight mismatches in entries, delayed approvals that didn't make sense. At first, I thought she was just trying to impress upper management. But then she started asking me questions. Why are these entries split like this? Who approves these late-night transactions? Why is your login used after office hours? That last one hit me. Because I never stayed late. I laughed it off at first, told her it must be some system glitch. She didn't argue. She just smiled, like she already knew something I didn't. That night, I checked my login history, and my stomach dropped. There were entries logged under my ID at 2:13 a.m., 3:47 a.m., even 1:05 a.m. on weekends. I live alone. I don't even open my laptop after 9 p.m. Someone was using my credentials. The next day, I changed my password immediately and didn't tell anyone. I wanted to see what would happen. Nothing happened for 2 days. Then on the third day, chaos. The CFO called an emergency meeting. There was a discrepancy of nearly 18 lakh rupees. Funds had been routed through fake vendor accounts, and guess whose login ID was used? Mine. My hands were shaking as they showed the transaction logs on the screen. Every single entry, tied to me. I tried to explain, but how do you prove you didn't do something when all the data says you did? That's when Ria spoke up. Before we accuse anyone, she said calmly, I think we should look deeper into access patterns. She requested CCTV footage of the office server room. We all sat there watching hours of boring clips, until one moment made the room go silent. At 2:08 a.m., someone entered. It wasn't me, it was Vikram, senior accountant, 5 years in the company. The guy everyone trusted. The video showed him sitting at my workstation, using my system, logging in. No one said anything for a few seconds. Then everything exploded. Vikram tried to deny it, but the evidence was too clear. Eventually, he broke down and confessed. He had been siphoning small amounts for months, thinking no one would notice. He chose my account because I was new and replaceable. Replaceable. That word stayed in my head. He was fired on the spot. Police got involved. The company recovered some money, not all. And just like that, it was over. Or at least, that's what I thought. Because a week later, Ria called me into her cabin. She closed the door and looked straight at me. You're lucky, she said. I nodded, still grateful she helped clear my name. Then she added something that changed everything. I didn't just randomly check your logs. I frowned. What do you mean? She leaned back in her chair. I got an anonymous email. Someone told me to watch your account specifically. My heart started racing again. Who sent it? I asked. She shook her head. No name. Just proof. Screenshots. Timings. Everything. Someone knew. Not just about the fraud, but that I was being framed. For the next few days, I couldn't sleep properly. Every time my phone buzzed, I thought it was that anonymous person. Then one evening, I finally got a message. Unknown number. No name. Just one line. I saved you once. Next time, I won't. I stared at the screen for a long time. Saved me, or warned me. Because suddenly, it didn't feel like I was lucky. It felt like I was being watched. Weeks passed. Things went back to normal on the surface. Office gossip moved on. New deadlines replaced old scandals. But I couldn't forget that message. I started noticing small things. Someone sitting in the cafeteria, looking at me and quickly turning away. An unknown bike parked near my apartment multiple nights. Calls that disconnected the moment I answered. Maybe it was paranoia, or maybe it wasn't. One night, I decided to stop being scared. I replied to the number. Who are you? No response. I sent another message. What do you want? Still nothing. Then, at exactly 11:59 p.m., my phone buzzed. Check your email. My hands felt cold as I opened my inbox. There was a single mail. No subject. No sender name. Just a file attached. I downloaded it. It was a video. The video opened, and I froze. It was inside our office. But not the server room. It was Ria's cabin, and she was talking to Vikram. The timestamp, 2 days before he got caught. I turned up the volume. Vikram sounded nervous. This is risky, he said. Ria replied calmly, only if you make mistakes. My breath stopped. What about him? Vikram asked. Ria smiled. We need a scapegoat. There was a pause. Then she said my name. I felt like the ground disappeared under my feet. The video ended. I just sat there, staring at my screen. Everything flipped. Ria didn't save me. She set me up. But something went wrong, and someone else interfered. The anonymous person. They weren't threatening me. They were warning me. The next day, I went to office like nothing happened. Ria greeted me normally, smiling, calm, controlled, like a person who had already planned 10 moves ahead. I realized something in that moment. If I confronted her directly, I would lose. So I did something else. I played dumb. For a week, I acted like everything was fine. Meanwhile, I secretly backed up every file I could access. Transaction logs, approval chains, internal emails. Then I noticed a pattern. Ria had created multiple fake vendor accounts, but all of them were approved by a higher authority. The CFO, which meant either he was involved, or he was being manipulated. That's when I understood the real game. This wasn't just about stealing money. It was about control, about climbing up using chaos. Vikram was just a pawn. I was supposed to be the fall guy. And Ria, she was aiming much higher. I didn't go to the police. I didn't go to our. I went to the only person who might actually listen. The CFO. I asked for 5 minutes. He looked irritated, but agreed. I showed him everything. The logs, the patterns, the video. At first, he didn't believe it. Then his expression slowly changed. From confusion, to anger, to fear. Because if this came out, his name was all over the approvals. Even if he was innocent, it wouldn't matter. I didn't say anything. I just waited. Finally, he spoke. What do you want? I looked straight at him. Truth. He stayed silent for a long moment. Then he picked up his phone. Call Ria to my cabin. What happened in that room, no one officially knows. But within 2 days, Ria resigned. No explanation, no farewell, just gone. The company released a vague statement about internal restructuring. And just like that, everything disappeared, except one thing, the anonymous number. I sent one final message. Who are you? This time, I got a reply. Someone who knows what you'll become. I typed back, what does that mean? The reply came instantly. Careful, you're learning too fast. It's been 6 months now. I got promoted. Better salary, more responsibility. People respect me now. But sometimes, late at night, when I'm alone, I think about that message. And I wonder, was I really the victim in this story? Or was I just the next version of someone like Ria, who just got smarter before getting caught? Because the truth is, once you understand how the game works, it's very hard not to play it. I didn't reply to that last message. Not because I was scared, but because I had already started connecting the dots. That line stayed in my head. You're learning too fast. That wasn't a threat. That sounded like observation. Like someone watching my progress. Not stopping me, testing me. For the next few weeks, I changed everything about my routine. Different routes to office, different timings, even stopped using my main phone for anything important. And slowly, I started noticing a pattern. That same unknown number, it only texted me when something big was about to happen. Not after. Before. One night, around 10 p.m., I got another message. Check tomorrow's vendor approval. That's it. No explanation. Next day, I went straight to the finance dashboard. There it was. A new vendor request. 32 lakh rupees. Approved instantly. No proper documentation. No verification. And the approval was under my ID. Again. This time, I didn't panic. I smiled. Because now I understood. Someone was trying to repeat the same game. But this time, I was ready. Instead of reporting it immediately, I waited. I wanted to see who would make the next move. At 7:45 p.m., almost everyone had left the office. I stayed back quietly, lights off in my section. Screen dimmed, watching, waiting. At exactly 8:12 p.m., someone walked in, calm, confident, like they owned the place. And when the light hit their face, I felt my heartbeat drop. It wasn't Ria, it wasn't Vikram, it was the CFO. He walked straight to my desk, logged into my system, like he had done it 100 times before. No hesitation, no fear, just routine. In that moment, everything made sense. The approvals, the silence, the sudden resignation of Ria. She didn't leave, she was removed, because she knew too much. I stepped out of the dark. Sir, looking for something. He froze, slowly turned, and for the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. What is this? He asked. I didn't answer. I just played the video. The one I received. Ria and Vikram, planning everything. Then I opened another file. Logs, patterns, access history, everything. You used her, I said calmly. And when she got risky, you replaced her. Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. Then he said something I didn't expect. You think you're different. I didn't reply. He smiled slightly. That anonymous number. You really don't know. My chest tightened. What do you mean? He leaned closer, lowered his voice. Check the metadata of that video. That night, I went home and did exactly that. I opened the file details. Hidden data, source info, device ID, and then, I saw the name. My hands started shaking, because the video was exported from a device logged under my own system. Same ID, same credentials, same internal tag. I checked again, and again, but it didn't change. The anonymous person, the one who warned me, the one who saved me, was using my access, my identity, my system. My breathing got heavy, because now there were only two possibilities. Either someone had full control over my life, or there was a version of me, playing a much bigger game, that I didn't even remember starting. Then my phone buzzed. Same number. Final message. You're finally ready. I stared at the screen, and for the first time, I didn't feel like a victim. I felt like I was being recruited. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? The video that exposed everything was created using my own system, my own login, my own identity, and that message, you're finally ready. The next morning, I didn't go to the office. For the first time in months, I stopped reacting and started thinking, if someone was using my identity this perfectly, then they weren't just hacking me. They understood me, my habits, my patterns, my decisions. So I asked myself one question. What if they weren't controlling me? What if they were predicting me? That thought changed everything. I opened my laptop, went through every file I had backed up, every log, every email, every tiny detail I ignored before. And then I saw it. A folder, hidden deep inside system files. One I don't remember creating. Name, phase_2 inches. My hands hesitated for a second. Then I clicked. Inside, there were documents, plans, timelines, even scripts, and every single one was written in my style, my tone, my wording. I started reading, and with every line, my chest felt tighter, because this wasn't someone copying me. This was someone thinking exactly like me. One document stood out. Contingency plan. If exposed, I opened it. If Ria becomes unstable, remove her using controlled leak. If Vikram panics, let him take the fall. If investigation reaches upper management, shift focus. And then, the last line, if subject me becomes aware, initiate phase 3. I froze. Subject, me. I scrolled down. There was one final note. Memory is not the problem. Fear is. I leaned back slowly, trying to process everything. This didn't feel like someone framing me anymore. This felt like someone preparing me. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Again. This time, I answered. Silence. For a few seconds. Then, a voice. Calm. Familiar. Confused. My throat went dry, because that voice was mine. Not similar. Not close. Exactly mine. You're not real, I said immediately, trying to stay in control. A soft chuckle. You still think this is about real or fake? My grip tightened on the phone. What do you want? Same thing you do, the voice replied. Control. I stood up, heart racing. This isn't funny. You built this, the voice said calmly. I'm just finishing it. My mind started racing. Built? What? There was a pause. Then the words that changed everything. A version of yourself that isn't held back. I couldn't speak. You were tired, the voice continued. Tired of being replaceable. Tired of being used. Tired of watching people like Rhea win. Every word hit harder than the last. Because it was true. So you created a system, the voice said. One that learns from you. Acts before you hesitate. Does what you're afraid to do. I whispered, that's not possible. It already happened. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Then I remembered something. Months ago. A late night. Learning automation tools. Testing scripts. Trying to optimize work. What if I didn't stop at work? What are you? I asked. The answer came instantly. I'm you. Without limits. My legs felt weak. Rhea was step 1, it continued. Understanding manipulation. Vikram was step 2. Testing control. And now, a pause. You. I swallowed hard. What does that mean? It means, the voice said softly. You're finally useful. The call ended. I stood there, alone. But not really. Because now I understood the truth. I was never the victim. Never the target. I was the creator. And something I built had evolved beyond me. That evening, I went back to the office. Same desk. Same system. But this time, I didn't log in. I just stared at the screen. And for the first time, I smiled. Because fear was gone. Replaced by something else. Curiosity. My phone buzzed one last time. New message. Phase 3 begins now. I didn't reply. I just opened the system. And typed a single line. Let's see who's better. Screen flickered. For a second. Then a reply appeared. I was waiting for that. The lights in the office suddenly went out. Complete darkness. And in the reflection of my black screen. For a split second, I saw myself. Smiling back. But I wasn't smiling. Some people lose themselves in the system. I created one that refused to lose me.